Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you on behalf of St. Mary's to the 1998 St. Mary's Memorial Weekend Parade. I am your host, Leonard Fillion, and to my immediate right are our three judges, Ryan Bedard, his wife Linda Bedard, and Bill LaRush. We have to Bill's right, we have Harry McManus and the Champlain Mayor, Melissa McManus. We have the Ross's Point Mayor, George Rivers. We have the town supervisor, Arnie Beal. And to his right, we have our St. Mary's priest, Father Gordon, and a former priest of St. Mary's, Father Lamberton. Please help me welcome them here today.
You're all set?
No, but...
You gonna stutter?
Yes.
I think we're all set, Len. I don't know.
We end up with not It doesn't matter. What I'm worried about is once again the Sheriff's Department. We have Sergeant David Jock driving, leading off our parade this year. We're followed by the St. Mary's Color Guard. Carrying the U.S. flag is Kim Schwartz. The Vatican flag is Oliver Berry. The New York State flag is Tyler Sample. And the St. Mary's banner is Neil Seymour and Wesley Asson. This year's Grand Marshals are Shelley and Mitch Willett in honor of their past 10 years of service in running and setting up this parade. We're going to now open the floor to Arnie Beal for our resolution.
Congratulations, Mitch and Shelley, on the selection. You're very well worth it. I'd like to read a resolution from the town in honor of you, and it says as follows. Whereas the Honorable Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell-Willette have been selected Parade Grand Marshal for the 1998 St. Mary's Bazaar Parade. Whereas the Honorable Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell-Willette exemplified this year's parade theme of Friends Helping Friends. And whereas the Honorable Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell-Willette have made innumerable contributions to St. Mary's Church to our youth, our families, and our community at large. Be it therefore resolved that the Honorable Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell-Willette are hereby recognized and acknowledged for their many contributions to the enhancement of our community. Be it further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Champlain, on behalf of the area citizens, extend to Mitch and Sherry the appreciation of a grateful community for the positive influence and lasting contributions they have made to the growth and welfare of our community. Be it further resolved that this resolution be spread upon the minutes of this meeting and a copy given to Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell-Willette. I order the Town Board all voting in favor.
Conductor is Bob Musso. Next, we welcome the Champlain Fire Department. First unit is Unit 145, our EMS ambulance. In the ambulance, we have Alex Sorrell. Next unit is number 144. It's a Champlain pumper. Next unit is 146. It's a Champlain tanker. Next unit's the Fire and Rescue Center. The next unit we have is a fire rescue truck. The Champlain Fire Chief is Gene Glad. And lastly, we have Unit 142, which is the brush truck. up is Patches and Hobo. This August 8th will be their 25th year anniversary. We have Ed Moore playing Hobo, and we have Dave Justice playing Patches. Last year, the money that they raised went for a Christmas party for 220 children. The band we have coming up is the Carillons from the Champlain. Next we have the VFW Post 1418. VFW Commander is Jeff Addison. Don't forget they have a breakfast tomorrow in Champlain VFW for 9 o'clock. Next we have 3 vehicles from Riley Ford. We have the Ford Contour. We have a Ford F-250. And it looks like we have an expedition coming up here. How'd you get to drive the expedition? Next we have the Norco Shriners. Norco Shriners throughout the year, they provide free hospitals for kids under 18. They're involved in various activities of the volunteer nature throughout our community. wearing black bands on their arm. Yesterday, they had their head clown, who's been with them for many years, Alex Richards, pass away. Next, we have the NCCS Prom Court of 1998. The Queen this year was Janine Ashline. The King was Tom Bannigan. The Princess was Carrie McComb. The Prince was Jeremy Winters. First attendants were Lisa Cardan and Travis Dupre. The second attendants were Aaron St. Hilaire and Brad Superna. And the third attendants were Marie Boris and Scott Morelli. Next band we have is the Panthers Music Corps from Valley Field. Next we have the Champlain Telephone Company. Got a full-size Chevy 4x4 from the Champlain Telephone. It's driven by Dale Cardan. Part of the Champlain Telephone Company is Prime Link, driven by Julie Dubois. From Route 9 in Shazy, we have Sample's Lawn and Garden. It's owned by Alan Sample. It's open Monday through Saturday. They host a whole line of lawn and garden tractors. Next we have John Zerlo, our Clinton County clerk, in a 1931 Model A Ford. With him is Jack Lawless, who is a candidate for the county sheriff. After that, we have the Champlain Elementary 3rd grade float. We have Nancy Yell, who is in charge of this. And the 3rd grade class of Champlain Elementary are dedicating this song, Hands, by Kathy Fink, to all the people in their lives who have been a positive influence. They especially want to thank their parents for their love and guidance. Also, a big thank you goes out to all of those people who helped during the ice storm and the flooding. Remember, it takes one hand to say hello, one hand to say goodbye, and extended hands to say thank you.
Simple hands take a stand and put an end to war. Simple hands take a stand. Simple hands must take a stand. Wash your hands and take a stand and put an end to war.
Thank you. Next we have Snide's Custom Sawing. It's a portable sawmill. Hardwood, softwood, can do logs up to 21 feet with a 36-inch diameter. Lumber is also available. Call Kyle Snide. Next we have 2 entries from Dragoon Farm Equipment. We got a little tractor and a big tractor. You like that one? I don't know what they are, but... We'd also like to thank Dragoons for the donation of this flatbed for our reviewing stand. Next up, we have a little bit of country coming our way. We have a DJ and some line dancers. A Step Ahead Country Line Dancers, run by Sue Coupel and Jane Renadin, are the instructors for this group. Music is produced by Showdown. A Step Ahead Line Dancers have a beginner's class starting in September at the Knights of Columbus Hall on Baton Avenue, Plattsburgh.
Thank you. This dance we're going to do for you today is called The Shake by Neil McCoy. It was choreographed by Kathy Ryan at Shazy, New York. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Some men are attracted to a pair of big blue eyes. It takes a pretty face to make their temperature rise. Looks aren't that important, just icing on the cake. What really turns me on is the shake. Shake it to the left, shake it to the right. Come on, baby, you know what I like. Shake it real funky, shake it real low, shake it till you can't shake it no more. It's a natural attraction, Mother Nature wouldn't make a mistake. What really turns me on is the shake. E-person Adam, which outfit do you like? The maple or the fig leaf? Honey, they both look nice. Clothes don't mean that much to me. Maybe you better go and ask the snake. And what really turns me on is the shake. Shake it to the left, shake it to the right. Come on, baby, you know what I like. Shake it real funky, shake it real low, shake it till you can't shake it no more. It's a natural attraction, Mother Nature wouldn't make a mistake. What really turns me on is the shake.
Next up, we have the Morris Fire and Rescue. Next up is the North Country Figure Skating Club. Its 20th year anniversary is coming up this year. Currently there are 96 members. This year's theme was Music Throughout the Ages, a variety of sketches from the 1920s through the 1990s were performed by the children ages 4 up to 17. Skating begins in October of '98. Sign up now. Next up is the 306 Wing, Royal Canadian Air Force Association, pipe band from Montreal. Next up, we have the Rouse's Point Fire Department. Leading off is the Honor Guard. The fire chief for Rouse's Point is Bob Itche. McDonald characters. We have the McDonald's quote. It's an appreciation for everything everybody's done for the ice storm and the flooding this year. We'd like to thank McDonald's for their generous donations to our parade and to our bazaar. The next band we have in front of us is the Senators Drum and Bugle Corps from Juliet. Next up, we have our feathery friend, the peacock from WPTZ Channel 5 in Plattsburgh. Next, we have Dale Reed and his souped up cutlass. Following him, we have Peru's Fire Department. Next up, we have a dump truck from the town of Champlain. We also have one of Champlain's latest additions. Is this street sweeper. Next up, we have the Imperials de Montreal, sponsored by Claude Leclerc. Next up, we have A1 Taxi Service. We have a Mr. Fredericks. We have the Champlain Post Office float, advertising their selection of stamps and letting us know that the new stamps coming out, you can vote for. We have Edmund Henderson with a souped up 1997 Ford Ranger and a go-kart to boot. And that ends our 1998 St. Mary's Memorial Parade. Thank you very much for attending. We will be giving out the trophies and awards to our entries up on the parade ground field in about a half hour.
This is Calvin Castine now. I'd like to thank Sam Castine for handling the parade again this year. We were doing what we usually do on at parade time, and on this Sunday is tape the Shazy Parade, which happens to go on at the exact same time for some strange reason. It's 2 o'clock now. We're looking over the grounds. We've been held up a little bit. We've been visiting with Mr. Pierre Raymond right over here with the white hat on from Peter Pan Productions. And you can see the band members around him. If you're looking for a band or bands or other entertainment from Canada for enhance your parade, give Pierre Raymond a call at Peter Pan Productions in St. John's, Quebec, Saint-Jean-Richelieu. And if you need his phone number, you can give us a call. We'll pass it on to you gladly. Sounds like the Champlain Fire Department is being called out on this Sunday afternoon. We are near where the barbecue is every year. And we'll zoom in, but not too closely, on people enjoying their barbecued chicken. Beautiful sunny Sunday. And we will take a look at some of the various booths that are here. Not sure where the fire trucks are going. They are circling the school, heading up Route 9. It's an unusual route to get to Route 9. I'm going to take a look at the fire safety trailer that's here, courtesy of the County Firefighters Association. Well, first we're going to take this quick look around. This is the fancy booth area. Kevin Castine's anxious to enter our contest. We have in the past occasionally handed out $100 to the people who can correctly name everyone who is here at the bazaar. A name, an address, phone number, and age. And he was talking about a few years back in 1989, when Kevin Juno was the winner. He named everybody that was here. Some of these people here weren't here back in '89. flea market. I think my dog would enjoy shopping there. Lots of varieties of food at these annual events. Dart game is probably the only, it might not be the only, but in all probability it might be the only game that's been here right from day one at the St. Mary's Bazaar back in 1967. For a while there were 2 dart games. It was that popular, plus we didn't have the variety of games that we have now. We'll just let the camera run as we roll along. The now licensed Nevada Club games. Ever popular golf. Hard to see in the booths because the camera wants to adjust to the brightest object, and the sunshine is shining on the people outside the booth. A very popular animal wheel. I'm not making much progress here. I'm spending more time visiting off camera, and to all you people who are still asking about the ice storm, it's a work in progress. Who knows, maybe it'll be done by the time you see this. But as of this taping, it sure as heck isn't. Still have time to wave. I'm not going to say how busy they were. All right, these people all want to be on here. They've had enough time. lot of places to practice your pitching here. This annual event is to keep the school running, and without it, St. Mary's School probably wouldn't still be here. It was started, of course, as a brainchild of Sister Mary Joseph, who was a teacher here back for many, many years. And even though it's got a nice reason for existing, it's also a nice thing for the community. It gets people a chance to get out and visit, and sometimes the only time you see people is right here. It's the people you don't see the rest of the year. You meet them here and you reminisce and talk about Bazaar's past. Mr. Robinson from Lacole, the Curling Club. We're just visiting with him here as we shut the camera off. Every time we shut the camera off, there's a new subject, something new to talk about here. No, don't wave unless you want to be on camera. Well, I guess we'll check out the dime pitch while we're over in this neck of the woods. Oh, it's a busy boat. Ferris wheel is something new this year. My philosophy on these rides is if they attract people and they keeps other people here while kids are playing, and it's beneficial, but the profit made for the bazaar on these booths, the rides, is very minimal compared to the dollar intake. So if somebody's going to come here and spend $10, you'd rather have them spend it someplace other than on the rides, because when all is said and done, you're not going to make much profit on the rides. I think I've just spotted a Yankee fan. They're Gabby Bedard, one of the great Yankee fans of all time. I think we'll go talk to him about the Yankees. One of the things we wanted to take a look at while we were here was the fire safety house. Clinton County Firemen's Association, but there's nobody around it right now. I hope you saw the show that Gordy Little and I did when they were trying to raise funds for this, the Rotary Club and county firefighters. And they used that tape during their fundraising efforts, and we're glad to be a small part of helping to make this possible. The fire safety house, they'll teach kids particularly, but adults can learn something too here. How to prevent fires, how to get out if your house catches fire, and a lot of useful information. But there's nobody home right now, so we can't take our tour, but we'll be covering that at some later date, if not today. We're going to take a look at the Jaws of Life in action here on this May 24th. The fire department from Champlain will be getting into this wrecked vehicle. I want to point out, it's another overflow crowd here at St. Mary's. When the crowd gets too big, they put the overflow up on a hill, and when there's enough room, we bring them down onto the field to enjoy the festivities. But when it gets too big, too many people here, we can't handle them all, so we put them up at the top of the hill. This provides portable light at an accident scene. I have to guess, I would guess that probably a good percentage, if not most, of the accidents that require the Jaws of Life probably occur in the evening hours. They're bracing up the wheels so the car won't move. They're putting the water in the gas tank. I would guess this is to prevent a gas explosion. Putting water in the gas tank, filling the gas tank up with water. We were told this car was still in operating condition. They just pounded it up with a backhoe and donated here to be torn apart as part of this demonstration. This is Benjamin Huff's car. He donated it for the cause today. Now looks like they're going to get going. Hear Marty Picard in the background on the PA system. They're starting here at 4:26. Let's see how long it takes them to do this. This, of course, is a simulation of somebody being stuck in the car and they're unable to get out and they're unable to open the doors to get the person out. So this is extricating a person in an accident. See special tools to cut the glass, to get in, take the hood off. Sawing the windshield off. Now we have seen this demonstrated before with someone in the vehicle, and they would cover the person up to avoid injury. They're not doing that today. See how quickly Corby's able to cut down the side of that windshield.
It should also be noticed that all people in the proximity are wearing a full protective complement.
Now with a person in the car, they would pull that windshield out and not drop it on the front seat, obviously. But for the sake of not having debris all over the court here, they're putting the debris inside the car. And it's more than just the people who are actually doing the cutting. There's other people handling various other aspects, including somebody standing by with a fire hose. Now they're coming in through the side window, taking out the side window. And with somebody in the car, again, they would not be shattering glass on top of them.
Young children watching this and want to be future firefighters, they should not try this demonstration at home with a family car. Difference in the equipment that would be used for the gasoline that's been at the site of the tool. You'll notice that the tools that are being utilized today simply make no noise at the point of operation. That ensures that rescue workers communicate
It's
among
just
themselves,
slicing
as well as to create a better environment for the patient.
slicing through the back. This is kind of an inside view of the jaws of life.
The extrication team is actually working to remove the rope from the vehicle to allow rescuers more space to gain access to an entrapped patient. Again, a reminder that in excess of 97% of all motor vehicle accidents, there is room to live within the driver's compartment.
Slicing through that last portion of the metal. And that corner is available to be lifted off. Now they'll come to the center. So now that roof could be, again, they're throwing the debris inside. They wouldn't do that at an accident. That roof could be picked up at this point and peeled back. Well, in this case, they're going to cut the whole thing and lift it off. Man with a hose comes over to this side. Again, the danger of sparks and gas fumes. Part of all what's happening this year at the St. Mary's Bazaar parade, we've heard that some people were confused. We ran the 1990 parade on Saturday night, and some people thought they were watching this year's parade, which hadn't taken place yet. the heavy rescue truck providing lights. This can be done day or night. And while the camera was off, Monty Picard alluded to the fact that heavy rescue, for the most part, was pretty much designed and built by people from the local area, including some engineers from the former Harris Graphics company.
Multiple fatal motor vehicle accidents resulting from rollovers. The National Highway Traffic Safety Council, along with vehicle manufacturers, implemented a policy where all driver-side doors were reinforced at point of impact, as well as additional support behind the driver's door so that there was an area for a compartment of safety.
Having a little trouble finishing this corner off, I guess. Jaws move very slowly, and when you have that much power behind them, you certainly want them to move slowly. Well, looks like I'm not gonna... Well, maybe I can sneak in. There we go. We found an opening where we can see. Moving over to the front, and this will be the final cut. Now they'll attempt to lift it off, and there it goes. It's now a soft top. But I would imagine most times when people are trapped in a vehicle, it's their legs that are pinned. But we're going to try to get the door off here, it looks like. Open the door. Trying to pry it open. Going to take the door right off. proper safety equipment. As part of the demonstration, when they're all done, they're going to put it all back together again. But the seatbelt holder is the only thing holding the door to the car. I believe this is a saw they're using now. No, it's the jaws, I guess. Like lobster claws or crab claws. Looks like they're going to get all 4 doors off. This is a demonstration. They're showing all the potential, not just that was kind of loose. I would imagine in a real emergency they would try to pull the whole thing off at this point if they could. But I think the way it's hanging there, it probably could be just pulled down. But that wouldn't quite fit into what they're trying to show.
Hurry up, now, up there.
If you'd like to learn how to do this, I'm sure the local fire department could use a volunteer or two. I don't know of too many fire departments or EMS departments that have waiting lists. Part of the crowd enjoying it. And that's it. A demonstration of the jaws of life. Fortunately, they don't get to use them that often, but when they do, lives are at stake. So, our thanks to all the EMTs, rescue, fire departments that provide this service for us. And as always, if you can find your way fit to join, I'm sure they'd appreciate the help. So that'll take care of today's coverage of the St. Mary's Bazaar. This is May 24th, 1998, and we've been in beautiful downtown Champlain.